So, you had previously mentioned that because this is a complete import substitution product, and that would benefit you in terms of increase in seamless pipe volumes as well, since that will be like everything under one roof kind of benefit. So, are we seeing that happening, and could you throw some light how the seamless pipe sales have moved this quarter?
The seamless, if you compare the previous year and the last year there was a marginal dip, but again this year we hope that it is going to pick up.
Okay.
But again, it will stabilize at a higher platform. See, what we are seeing is Jindal Saw 3 years back and Jindal Saw today. Everything has moved to a higher platform where it looks like this is going to be the new real for Jindal Saw.
Okay. So my next question is, if we compare Y-on-Y basis, we've seen a significant jump in volumes of around 34% this year. But going forward, on the basis of better capacity utilization, what kind of volume growth are we expecting next year?
This 34% is primarily one of the reasons has been addition of Harisamudram, that is M&A. So you don't expect 34% year on year every year.
Of course.
It would be more modest. It will be more in the range of 10 to 15%.
Okay. And my next question is on the debt side. As you said that compared to peers, when we look at Jindal Saw, there's a lot of headroom for growth in terms of shareholder returns, etc. But what would be your take on the short-term debt composition? Because if we look at the overall debt, is our working capital requirement relatively higher than our peers, and what could be the reasons behind that?
Okay, if you really look at a like-to-like comparison, which we do on a very granular basis, my working capital cycle is the best in the industry. So when you say a like-to-like comparison, I don't know how you are able to do a like-to-like comparison. Because who is my peer with whom you are comparing my working capital? When I do my individual working capital cycle segment-wise, which we do it for our internal benchmarking, we find it to be among the best. But I have repeated many times, I have explained many times, working capital, the way our industry is structured, trade finance runs parallel to our operations and would be a function of the turnover. So we have little control over how much of working capital that we need, except for managing the efficiency of the working capital, managing the working capital cycle. Because the more the turnover, the more the export, the more raw material I have to block, the more LCs I'll open, the more working capital I'll use. So that's pretty much given. Term loan, we are going to bring it down. Already, if you see, my term loan today is less than 2,000. My EBITDA for the year is 3,200. So again, test it not just on aggregate amounts, test it on some of the performance parameters, and then you would see that we are very, very well within any kind of norm. We will pass any test on our debt control. You take either any ratio, take moving average, take debt coverage, you choose a parameter, national, international, whatever, and on debt side, we will cross all benchmarks.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. That's it.
Thank you. We have our next question from the line of Darshil Zaveri from Crown Capital. Please go ahead.
Hello. Good evening, sir, and firstly, heartiest congratulations on another record-setting year. Hope I'm audible.
Yes.
Yeah. Just wanted to my first question is, sir, any other new M&A activity that's on our outlook currently that, we are looking at? That was my first question. And sir, with terms of we are guiding maybe a volume growth of 10 to 15%. So any revenue guidance for, maybe FY25 that you would like to give, sir?
Okay. First, M&A, nothing in the near future.
Okay.
Volume growth, I have told you. Price is purely market driven. I have already given you an indication that we expect the raw material prices to move in a band. That being the case, the top line also should move in a band subject to demand, supply and opportunity. Beyond that, it cannot be possible for me to give you any guidance on the revenue side.
Okay, fair enough, sir. And so just wanted to, maybe ask you a bit more regarding like our domestic, we are seeing a lot of growth happening and exports also, sir. Do we see the conflict escalating or, maybe, US also has its elections or something? That side we are seeing international we might have more pressure from the Western part or, any color on that would be great, sir.
US election has zero impact on Jindal Saw India.
Okay.
It may impact Jindal Saw US subsidiary, but that is so small in nature that overall the impact would be marginal.
Okay.
The war escalating, very difficult for me to take a second guess. Looks like Israel and Iran, good sense have prevailed, but when it goes out of control, probably your guess would be better than mine.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, sir. That's it from my side. All the best, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We have our next question from the line of Pradeep Rawat from Yogi Capital. Please go ahead.
Hi, thank you for the opportunity. So my question is regarding seamless pipe division. Do we see any significant demand ramp up from the OTCG customers, and what would be our outlook for the segment in the seamless division, particularly with respect to capacity addition from the competitors?
Okay, let me explain. You have asked a lot of questions, but it just looks like it's muddled. Let's start first with OCTG. Yes, there is a lot of demand. India, the emphasis on domestic oil production, it looks like, has gone up significantly. So India is getting deeper into the wells that they have and exploring a lot more. All this gives rise to OCTG demand. We are seeing a lot of demand increase even in the premium segment. So OCTG premium segment is going to lead the demand for pipes. There, because of the hunting JV, we are the only one in this format in India. Some of the peers are trying to catch up by coming up with some structured solution, but they still are far away from where we have arrived, where the JV is fully operational, it is next door, and is supplying now premium connection, OCTG, pipes, tubes, casings. Very soon we will also start producing connectors. Connectors essentially are what a coupling does to a lower diameter, connector does to a higher diameter. So the kind of product range that we will now, this JV would be capable of doing, we stand a very, very good opportunity in the market.
Okay. So my next question is, what is our seamless tube production capacity, and by which method do we produce it? By extrusion or piercing?
We have both. Nagothage is extrusion, but that is largely used for stainless steel and for the 13 chrome and all CRA grades. For mild steel in Nashik, we do penetration. So it is the piercing route that we follow. And then we also have in Nashik a piercing cum expansion route, which takes it to a diameter of up to 16 inches.
Okay. And what is the production capacity of our seamless division?
In Nashik, we have approximately 2.5 to 3, which we are optimizing and taking it up to 4. Nagothane is about 1.
Okay, thank you. That's all from my side. And all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We have our next question from the line of Radha from B&K Securities. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Congratulations on good performance. So my first query was, you mentioned regarding the Abu Dhabi volumes being impacted this quarter for the reasons that you have mentioned. So, how much finished goods inventory?
Hold. Again, please come closer to the mic. Speak slowly because your voice is getting blurred.
Okay. Is it better now?
Yes.
Okay. So, my question was regarding the Abu Dhabi execution. So, this quarter our execution has been lower because of the reasons that you have mentioned. So, how much finished goods inventory we have in Abu Dhabi, and because of the what is the left out orders in tonnage terms? Do you expect it to happen in 1Q? And do you expect that the current quarter execution to be higher than Q4 FY24?
Okay. Q1 this year would definitely be significantly better than the Q4 last year. The last year, our total dispatch was approximately 2 lakh tons. This year, we hope to beat that. We hope it will exceed. We have a full order book. We are fully booked for this year as far as our DI facility is concerned in Abu Dhabi. Same is the case in India. In fact, in India and Abu Dhabi put together, we have roughly 1 million ton of capacity and an order book where we are booked for 12 months.
All right, sir. So secondly, we are seeing a lot of demand traction in the helical saw pipe in the overseas market, particularly for the water segment. So can you please talk about the total opportunity size in the Gulf and MENA region with respect to these wet saw pipes, and what is the total supply in that market, and how much is imported in those regions? Out of that, what is the opportunity size available for Jindal Saw? And that's with respect to wet saw.
Lot of questions you have packed in one. Let me try and simplify it for you. When you said L-saw helical pipes, you need to correct that. L-saw is longitudinal submerged arc welded pipes. Helically submerged arc welded pipes is called H-saw if you use that acronym, or it is called spiral pipes. Now, spiral pipes are essentially large diameter pipes which are, as the name suggests, helically first formed and then welded along the seam. That's why it's called edge-saw. Being large diameter, it is transported to, and it is largely used for water sector. In some cases, it can also be used for oil and gas sector, because now we also have the API grade helical pipes that is possible. But you are right, largely it is used for the water sectors. Countries like Saudi, countries like Iraq, Jordan, they are a huge market for these helical pipes. Helical pipes have an inherent disadvantage that it cannot be transported over a very long distance because of the weight to volume ratio. And therefore, for us, the export market on which we focus our spiral pipes are Middle East, and we go up to Spain, etc., but not beyond that. Whereas our DI pipes from Abu Dhabi can go or goes up to Finland, up to Australia, up to Brazil, all at the same time. So this market is doing very well. Saudi, as you all know, is developing very fast, and it is not just developing. Saudi is going through a transformation. A new capital city is being built, infrastructure is being built, the country is opening up. So those are all good news, because then they want water line, they want desalination plant. So essentially in these areas, the spiral pipe demand is good. Only point of concern is a Middle East conflict. If it gets blown into a full-fledged war, then there could be disruptions in the area.
Sir, what is the demand and supply in the Gulf and MENA region for this extra pipe in terms of metric ton?
Spiral capacity in the region is hardly there. We and some of our Indian friends are the major suppliers of spiral pipe in the region.
Any Chinese supply in that region, sir?
China, slowly but surely, it is getting isolated. The Europeans have started, blocking their market to them. So far, we have not seen it happen in a very overt fashion, but slowly we are seeing that Chinese goods are not liked by most of the big clients. And I must tell you that the Chinese pipes, there's a lot to be desired on the quality. And our pipelines are, they have a life of 30, 40, 50 years. So the moment you create even an iota of doubt on quality, then just being the cheapest is not the best, doesn't necessarily make you the supplier of choice. We are beginning to see that happening in the market.
In terms of competition,
sorry to interrupt, ma'am. May we request you to rejoin the queue, as there are several participants waiting for their turn?
Yes, thanks.
Thank you. We have our next question from the line of Gokul Maheshwari from Auriga Capital Advisors. Please go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity, and congratulations on very good set of numbers. I have a couple of questions. So you mentioned very strong demand outlook in India as well as in the Middle East region. Can you comment on the US and the European regions' demand conditions and whether we are in a position to address that market?
Okay. US is a very limited market for us. We don't sell any large diameter pipes. We don't sell any DI. We do sell some stainless and we do sell some seamless, but that too, it's a good export market to have, but overall in percentages term, it is small. Europe, because of its sluggish growth, Europe can be a very good market for seamless again and DI. But because of the sluggish growth in the European economy, at this point of time is not a booming or a growing market or a market with a lot of demand. So our focus is primarily on India and in export market, Middle East.
Okay. What would be the expected capex budget for FY25?
No, we have not announced any major projects as yet, so it will be normal capex. In fact, most of our major projects that we had announced, like the coke oven, battery and all that, is nearing completion. So we expect the capex spent to be a modest, 500-600 crores this year.
Okay, great. Lastly, just on the case against the NTPC, while I understand the matter is sub judice, but is there is it just that it just keeps getting delayed, or is there a resolution which is expected in the near term? If you could just give a qualitative comment on when do you expect this to get resolved?
There is some development and some insight that I can share with all of you. Now the matter is partly heard, means the arguments have started. The opposite side has more or less completed all its arguments, and the matter is partly heard with the judge. So now we can expect it to finish in the near future, because once the matter is partly heard, then you cannot change the judge, you cannot change the roster, and then there is a pressure that it must finish in a little time. So this is a development that gives us some hope that during this calendar year we should see some movement.
Okay, great. Thank you so much and all the best.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We have our next question from the line of A.M. Loda from Sanmati PMS. Please go ahead.
Hello. Am I audible, sir?
Yes.
Congratulations, sir. Good set of numbers. My first question is regarding the numbers, sir, only. Usually in the March, if I look at this quarter, December to March, your operating profit...
Please hold. I am not able to hear you clearly. You have to maybe speak a little slowly.
Hello. Am I audible, sir, now?
Yes.
Sir, I am talking about operating profit. In the month of December, it was 988, and in the month of March, it is 920 crore only. Whereas in March...
We have the line for the participant disconnected. Due to time constraint, this was the last question for today, and I now hand the conference over to Mr. Vikas Singh for closing comments.
Yeah.
Over to you,
I would
Mr.
like
Vikas.
to, on behalf of Phillip Capital, I would like to thank Jindal Saw management for giving us the opportunity to host the Concall for you. I will hand it over to Mr. Neeraj Kumar for any closing remarks. Over to you, sir.
I wish to thank all our investors for taking keen interest. Please continue to remain connected. If you have any other questions, send it on a mail to Rajiv Goel. We'll be happy to respond. And we do assure you that we'll continue our good effort to create value for all our shareholders, stakeholders. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. On behalf of Phillip Capital India Private Limited, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.